And for that, I'm going to turn it over quickly to Stephen K. Scott, who's our founder and our mentor and the guy that needs to take us to the next phase of this call. So Steve, welcome.
Hey, thank you, Aaron. And I don't know, where's Gordon? Is Gordon somebody?
Yeah, I'm above you. Well, I don't know. I'm on. Can you hear me?
Michael, yeah, we hear you. Oh, there you are. Hooray. First, let me just tell everybody a little bit about you. Gordon is brilliant. Gordon was the head of women's health at University of Kentucky. He got involved in glutathione because he almost lost his career. Passing out while you're doing surgery never helps any surgeon. And his life in medicine was about to be over. And one of our own, Rhonda Dasher, got him on a glutathione supplement that we used to have with another company. And lo and behold, he got his health back. And he started seeing how important glutathione was and getting more and more people on our previous product that we had, different company. And pretty soon he had over 200 patients on his glutathione. And University of Kentucky said, that's it. You either stop doing that or find a new job. And Gordon said, I'm not taking anybody off this stuff. It's changing their lives and helping them. And so he found a new job. He has his own clinic. He is board certified as an OB/GYN. He's also board certified in integrative medicine. He is licensed in the hardest states to get licensed, New York, Florida, and others, in stem cell therapies. He is a doctor's doctor. By the time patients get to him, they've usually had at least 20 other doctors. So doctors will take their patients to a certain level, and when they finally have to say, we can't do anything else with you, we're sorry, Gordon ends up with them, and his patients come from all over the world. His integrative clinic is called the Crozier Clinic, and it is in Orlando, Florida. He is a dear friend. He is a shareholder in Neumi. He's smart enough to know where to put his money, but we're smart enough to know what a blessing to have him. Everybody that knows him respects him. He lectures all over the world to doctors who specialize in functional medicine, integrative medicine, anti-aging medicine. So, Gordon, that's about all I can say because I don't have enough time to say everything I should. Gordon loves the Lord. He has an incredible family. He and Michelle have 6 kids. And with that, he does know more. He has been using glutathione ever since Rhonda Dasher introduced him to glutathione. So let's start out, and you tell us, Gordon, a little bit about why you love nanoglutathione using our hydrostat process.
Well, it's just a completely different amount or a different type of delivery system. And I love the delivery system. You know, there's hundreds of glutathione supplements out there in the market, hundreds of them. But the problem is most of them are not bioavailable. So, you know, as Steve knows, I was begging him for a couple years, you know, to please come up with some kind of nano form of glutathione so that it would be small enough where it could actually cross over into the cell. So all the other forms of glutathione, when you take them in, and I don't care what form they are, first of all, you have to absorb them through the intestinal tract. Well, very little of it absorbs through the intestinal tract. Then you get it into the circulatory system, right? Because that's right across from the gastrointestinal tract. Well, with that, then it's going to circulate, but then you have to get it into the cell because the cellular portion is where you really need the glutathione the most. And so what happens to that glutathione molecule? Well, it has to disassemble. So you have to take the glutamine, the glycine, and the cysteine, they have to come apart. Then they cross over into the cell, then they have to reaccumulate. That doesn't happen with this product. That's why you have such great results. When you give this to athletes, it works. When you give those like what we heard before, somebody with a brain injury. What's a brain injury? Well, it causes microglial activation, inflammation in the brain. That inflammation has to be calmed down. Well, where does glutathione recycle it in the brain? It recycles in the temporal area of the brain, but it goes throughout the brain to help detoxify, bring down inflammation, monitors the microglial cells to make sure that they're not overinflamed and cause microglial activation, which then causes all forms of neurological diseases. So glutathione is essential for a lot of things. And so that's why I like this product, because you can take this product, it's easily absorbable. You never have anybody who does not tolerate this product, and this product is well tolerated, and it will absorb quickly. If I do have some people with some gastrointestinal issues, sometimes I'll tell them to swish it and then spit it out until I get them to the point where they can swallow it, and then they can swallow it and get even better results. But I like the fact that you're actually swishing it in your mouth and you're getting benefits, and then you swallow it, you get the rest of the benefits. So it's helped a number of my patients, especially those with neurological inflammation, because that's a lot of what I deal with now here in my clinic. As he said, I'm faculty for a company called A4M, which teaches integrative doctors. That's actually backed by George Washington University. So I'm actually part of the faculty from George Washington University at this point, because I do a lot of lecturing for them, and they have to make sure that everything is accurate. You actually have everything to validate what you say. So I love this product because it actually gives it where you need it. And it will cross over into the cell, so you get instant results, you get instant gratification by energy, by clearing of the mind. A lot of them, my patients say they have cognitive difficulties. I have them switch, and then we do something called a CNS vitals. And the CNS vitals, you can see before and after, you can see a change in their CNS vitals. Then you know what you're dealing with, you know how to go about it, and you know how to get down to the bottom of the thing. I don't just do the Neumi product. I also make sure that they're on a good, correct diet. And so Neumi, the Neumi product, glutathione, is a peptide. So I'm part of the steering committee for the International Peptide Society. So because I'm second in command and I kind of do a lot with that, I understand now, and I just read an article this week that said that glutathione is needed for the use of all the other peptides in your body. So you have like 9,000 different peptides in your body. We know that they all decline as we age. All of them are declining. Glutathione's declining. All of them are declining. So this product is going to help you optimize all peptides. Why? Because those other peptides, you need glutathione because they use a disulfide bond from the glutathione for the other peptides to be utilized correctly. So there's a plethora of different peptides.
Okay, let me repeat in understandable layman terms. Your body makes 9,000 peptides. They are utilized at every level. Some become proteins, some become bipeptides, some become tripeptides. You cannot function without the peptides. They are a critical part of your life, your lifespan, your health, your performance. And glutathione, I used to think, because Gordon told me a long time ago, that 3,000 of them can't even be manufactured without glutathione. Now he informs us that all 9,000 need them. And the problem again becomes delivery. Delivery. You can go buy all the glutathione you want. I don't care what it says on the bottle, but it won't get through the stomach. And if it does, only a little bit gets through, and only a little bit of what gets through gets into the cell. And
Exactly.
I was about to speak to 250 doctors at the International Congress of Anti-Aging Doctors in Mexico City. And I called Gordon real quick. I said, Gordon, what's our advantage over IV glutathione? And he said, oh, Steve, it's so easy. He says, IV glutathione, it goes into the blood as glutathione, but once it hits the blood, it breaks it down into glutamine, glycine, and cysteine. And then it has to get to the cell. And once it's in the cell, it has to get into the cytoplasm. And once all three get into the cytoplasm, then it has to be remanufactured. And we're just right into the cell. We go 70 seconds from the time we enter the blood, we've been distributed. And so we avoid all that work. And the other thing with the half-life of glutathione only being 90 minutes once it's in the cell, it has to be replaced. And who wants to get an IV every day at $200 to $400? How much did you charge for IV glutathione, Gordon?
Well, yeah, it's probably around 150 to 200. But I don't, I do a lot of this instead because now I get better benefits than even from the IV glutathione, because a lot of the IV glutathione has a lot of preservatives in. And I have some of my patients are so reactive, they will react to it. And so this is a better form for me to use in conjunction with other IVs, and they get great use. So
I called him from Mexico City. He told me that, do you know of the 250 doctors that were in the room, every one of them gives IV glutathione. Not one of them realized that the blood was breaking down the glutathione and that it had to be reassembled. They didn't realize the half-life's only 90 minutes, so you need multiple. And the neat thing about Swish is you can take the servings as often as you want. This is not a medicine. It's not a drug. It hasn't shown side effects. And so we have athletes that will take it every hour of a multi-hour event. I have some friends that, or I shouldn't say friends, I know some football players that will take it at the beginning of every quarter. In fact, Scott Steele just had me on with a Hall of Famer nominee, a guy that was on, he was all pro 3 times. He was on in 6 Pro Bowls. And he had me on with him day before yesterday, I think it was. That guy is so excited now. He now gets it. And so, but I've had other football players on it, and they say the same thing. Man, I take it every quarter now. We've had endurance athletes that take it every hour in a multi-hour event, like one took it every hour for 18 hours. He said he never went into a deficit, and it was like he hit a reset button mentally and physically every time he took it. And he had been racing bikes for 25 years and had never had an experience like this. So one thing I want to say about Gordon, he's been working with me on this for a very long time. Gordon and Michelle are dear almost lifetime friends of Rhonda and Sherry and me. Our chairman of our board is a pastor named Ron Johnson. Gordon is the one that introduced me to Pastor Ron, and now he and I worked on ministry together, plus he's chairman of our board at Neumi. And but Gordon, I wish I could ask Gordon how he uses it with patients, but if he says a medical condition, I will go ahead and disclaim, we are not a medicine. We do not treat, cure, prevent, or diagnose any medical disorder. But Gordon, I know you use it with a lot of your clients, and how fast do they typically see something that blows them away as far as results?
Well, usually it's within 24 hours. So some people, because they might have a high, glutathione is also a detoxifier. So it's one of the best things for, if you do and you look at environmental toxins, they're increasing every day. But there's a lot of environmental toxins. So some of these environmental toxins, they don't even know what to do or how to get them out of the body. Well, I do. And so I have been using this product, and I've been having them do it. So a lot of these people see results really dramatically pretty quick. Some people the same day, some people within the same serving immediately after we give it to them. So as you know, we used it for different things, and I don't want to say specific ailments because I'm not going to go there. I can't do this. But I would use it, and they would immediately come out of whatever they were going through at that time and feel so much better at that time. So I'll administer it to them right here in my practice when they're sitting here and they're maybe getting a different IV for something else. And I will administer it to them, and it takes a lot of what they're feeling and what they're going through away almost immediately. And some people it has been instantaneous, and there were some people that I had to drip it actually under their tongue, and we saw results almost immediately. When we first were doing some of the initial trials with it, it was phenomenal to me, the results I was getting from some of these people. And a lot of those people are still taking it. They don't want to stop. So I actually gave it to. I spoke on. It was a event called Braintopia. So it was a lot about neurological diseases and neuroinflammation. And I actually gave it to every one of the physicians that were present there at the lecture, listening to me. And most of them were. They couldn't believe it. But some of them, it took their wives to try it for them to say, hey, this is real. And they would feel it instantaneously.
Now, Gordon, you use our spray, correct?
Oh, yes. I'm 65, Look at my skin.
Okay, pull your glass. Let him see. He really is 65.
Yeah, I can bring my Medicare card out if you want me to, but yeah.
And so it's just, now tell us about, you use it with some athletes as well.
Yeah, I do. So, because I got into powerlifting, and I had a personal best doing this Neumi product. So the glutathione and the delivery system was remarkable for me. I was able to bench more than I ever did. I was able to deadlift more than I ever did. So, I'm kind of one of those freaky people that don't want to believe they're getting old. So I want to keep doing things. So, but because of that, I have a lot of athletes that come to me. So what I've noticed is that when they're doing the product, they recover very rapidly, and then they can go back to doing more training, and they'll train. And I want to make sure that they're not overtraining still, even though they're recovering well from this. But they would recover so rapidly, and they noticed that they weren't getting the same injuries that they were getting before. So I had one power lifter was always getting some issues with his shoulder, and we put him on it, and he really got great results from it, and really had no other issues from it. And he was originally going to go to an orthopedic surgeon, sports specialist, because he thought he was going to have something done with it, but it really it went away. So I use it in all kinds of athletes, and I love what it does for them. And I think it really helps in preventing possible injuries, preventing.
One thing we know about sports injuries, 80% of all sports injuries come when the athlete is either mentally or physically fatigued. And because we see a delay in the onset and the progression of both mental and physical fatigue, especially if you start to get fatigued, we saw this with Air Force, a test we did with Air Force security teams. Anytime they'd start to get fatigued, they'd just swish again, and boom, they'd be right back there mentally and physically. So injury rates that are related to fatigue, we would logically think they would be reduced. We're going to have to call this quits for now, but Gordon, can't wait to see you at the Diamond Retreat. Gordon will be our guest lecturer, and he's been a dear friend of mine for 15 years in every way. He is my dear brother in Christ, and thank you for introducing me to Ron Johnson, who's become like a pastor to me, and of course he's chairman of our board and one of our shareholders as well. So with that, Aaron, I'll hand it back to you, bud.